Cardi B interviewed Joe Biden and made it very clear that she is a proponent of Medicare for all. We knew that when she interviewed Bernie Sanders. And Biden, at one point in the interview, according to the transcript of the interview, responded by saying, there's no reason why we can't have all of that. But what was really interesting is that portion was cut out from the video. And so I'm gonna show you the exchange and pay close attention to where there's a bit of a jump cut. Take a look.
I, of course, want free Medicare. And this is why it's important to have free Medicare, because look what's happening right now. You see why we should have been have free Medicare for a long time. I, of course, think that we need a free college education. That's second. And I want Black people to stop getting killed. And no justice for it. I'm tired of it. I just want more stricter laws that is fair to Black citizens. And it's fair for cops too. If you kill somebody that doesn't have a weapon on them, you go to jail. You know what? If I kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. You gotta go to jail too. That's all I want. And it's so sad that a pandemic has to happen so people could open their eyes.
So when I was producing this story, I read the transcript and then I watched the video to time code it and have it ready for you guys on the show. And I kept listening to it over and over and over again. I'm like, wait, where did Biden say what's in the transcript? It's not in the video. Well, they cut out this part where Biden responded with, there's no reason why we can't have all of that. Presidents have to take responsibility. I understand one of your favorite presidents is Franklin Roosevelt. Roosevelt said the American people can take anything if you tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth is hard, but right now we're in a position where we have an opportunity to make so much progress. The American public has had the blinders taken off. So look, I mean, obviously, all we can really do is speculate as to why that portion of his statement was taken out of the video version of the interview. But I just found that strange, just incredibly strange.
Yeah, well, look, I don't know what they did or didn't do with the video, but I don't think it's that strange. Because he said to Cardi B, we can have all that, including healthcare for all. But he doesn't mean that. He doesn't want to do healthcare for all. He was very, very clear about that in the campaign. And even after winning the primary, he was adamant. He said if Medicare for all makes it all the way through Congress, he will veto it. So I think that he was on with Cardi B and thought, oh, this is a good way to get votes. I'll just nod along and say yes to everything. Doesn't really matter. And maybe his handlers thought, no, remember, all of our donors want to make sure that you don't do Medicare for all. They might get upset by that, and our donors, of course, are way more important than Cardi B. And it doesn't matter what you say to Cardi B. We just are going to tell all the rest of the media you were on with Cardi B. They're all going to congratulate you for being really cool, and they're not going to pay any attention to the policy. Now, the reality is Cardi B is way better on policy than Joe Biden is, and so. Look, J.R. Jackson is our senior producer. You guys see him on air every once in a while. In the production meeting today, he said he thought basically the whole thing was patronizing. He's like, oh, you're Cardi B, I'm Joey B, and all that nonsense, right? And look, you can look at it two different ways. It's playful, it's patronizing. Those are two different ways of looking at it. But when you strip out the policy, well, there's nothing left but patronizing.
Yeah, I think JR is right. I hadn't watched the interview when we had our production meeting today. And as I was producing this story, I was like, this is an awful interview. Cardi B is like on the money. Like she's absolutely right about the policy. She's absolutely right about where we are as a country right now. And really the only statement of substance we got from Joe Biden was him urging young people to vote. So let's watch that portion of the interview and we'll come back and discuss.
In 2016, if 18 to 23 or 4-year-olds have voted in the same percentage as the rest of the population, we would have had Hillary Clinton, not him. The vote matters. That's why you keep talking to people about the need to vote. The vote matters. It matters a great deal. And so we got to look, the generation, your generation and the young millennials beyond that, they can own this. They can own this outcome, and they can own what happens in the next election. They are the ones that can change things dramatically if they show up and vote.
Yeah, except, part of the reason why a lot of young people sat it out and didn't go vote is because they felt that there wasn't anything motivating to go. I mean, for me, it was motivating, like Trump's awful, right? But you got to give people something to vote for rather than just give people something to vote against. And what amazes me is they're repeating the exact same mistake. I mean, just take a look at what they're doing with the Democratic convention and the long lineup of Republicans who are set to speak at that convention. So in a lot of ways, I mean, I feel like Biden, with the way he has agreed to put this convention together, is going even further than Hillary did. It's kind of like, no, you're gonna have to vote. Okay, you're gonna have to vote for me, and I'm gonna slap you in the face with the John Kasichs and the Mike Bloombergs and the, what was her name, Whitmans of the world.
Yeah. You get two Whitmans for the price of one. You get Christine Whitman, who is the former governor of New Jersey, who was a Republican, and Meg Whitman, who ran as the Republican candidate for governor of California. So look, I understand putting out one or two Republicans in the DNC. I think John Kasich makes sense to make the argument to anyone who's leaning, hey, remember, there's a reason why you should vote against Trump as a Republican too, if you care about the country. But it is stacked with Republicans. And then you turn to, okay, well, are there any progressives? Yeah, Bernie Sanders speaking tonight. By the way, we're doing live play-by-play coverage all week of it, so don't miss any of it. 9 to 11 o'clock Eastern every night, and that's at tyt.com/live or youtube.com/tyt. So now, but AOC, a young progressive, gets pre-recorded 60 seconds. That's absurd. So, and look, if they really cared about getting young progressives to vote, who's a really strong progressive? Cardi B is. And so I get it that they're just not in the same culture. And I don't think Joe Biden has any idea what she's talking about. He says we're gonna have all that. If you notice, she didn't just talk about healthcare. She talked about, I want cops to stop killing black people. Joe Biden doesn't, look, it's not fair to say he doesn't agree with that, but he doesn't want really any major police reform. So he doesn't agree with Cardi B's policies on that. So stop giving patronizing interviews where you just yell at young people to vote and actually listen to what she's saying and feature people like that. If they featured Cardi B in the convention, the right wing would go nuts. And you know what that would do? That would create a lot of news that young people would hear about how the Democratic Party agrees with Cardi B when she talks about looking out for young people, for black people, for all people when it comes to Medicare for all, etc. And you would have the Republicans attacking those groups of people, but they would never have the courage to do that. Instead, they stacked and packed the DNC with the Republicans. Want to win a free electric scooter? Well, our partners at Aspiration and Zoom Electric are making it possible. All you have to do is head to tyt.com/greensummer for your chance to win.